Let's take a look at a church website, and I will give my first impressions. All right, today we are going to head to Buffalo Covenant Church in Buffalo, Minnesota. So buffalocov.org. Here's their website. The first thing we see is the background video, kind of rolling through some slow motion, great shots of ministry, worship. I love the intergeneration. We see some shots of worship. All of these things are great because it gives people who have never been to your church kind of a better idea visually of what to expect if and when they choose to come for the first time on a Sunday. We can say a lot of words, right? We can say what Sunday normally, like what the worship looks like or what happens during the service. But when you see visuals, that's a great way to just quickly help reiterate your wording, reiterate what you're saying, but also visually help people to get a deeper understanding of what to expect right away. So here we see lots of kids, families, which really goes along with this, let's see here, goes along with this connecting faith and family element. I like that. One thing that I do see here, just at this very top, very first impressions here, we see services are Sunday, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., with a live stream at 9 a.m., but it doesn't give me any call to action. So I would love to see a call to action here. Check out a service, watch a previous service, join the live stream, something like that would be great. The other thing that I often talk about is the menu space. So, often we kind of put what we think should go in the menu. I love that there's only 4 items in this space. We don't want any more really than 5, maybe 7 kind of top level menu items. But what I encourage churches or any organization to do really is think through this as kind of for a church, like a faith formation process. So the very first item and the very last item are going to be the ones that catch our eyes and catch our attention the most. So here we have events and we have about. I would argue that if we're thinking about this as kind of a faith formation process, our menu, we want to start with something for a first-time guest. So that could be something just like start here, or I'm new, or maybe it is the about us. But that should be first, probably, unless you want events, your outreach events, whatever. That's what you expect people to come to first before they really do anything else. But usually they want to learn a little bit more before they show up to anything. And then usually a church has give or donate or nonprofits too, kind of as that last menu space. All good things. I love the simplicity here. There's no confusion about what's going on or really like where you're going here. So that's kind of my feedback there on this just very first top space. Now let's scroll down. The next section is Get Connected. So here we have this kind of first impression, connecting faith and family. Now it's Get Connected. So again, if I'm a first-time visitor, just checking out your website, maybe I just moved into Buffalo, Minnesota, and I'm trying to find a church in the area. I'm not really sure what's going on here, except I maybe if I'm going to scroll, I probably like what I see in the background video. There's no call to action, so that would be helpful. Getting connected seems like a bit of a jump to go like right away, but that's kind of just my feeling, I guess. I would love like a quick paragraph here, something that just describes what makes your church would be really great in this section. Also helps with like SEO. It's more content for Google and the others to read. So just a little bit about your church and what makes your church your church? How do you connect faith and family? Where are you? There's also no location up in this top area. So including, maybe you're in a certain neighborhood or a certain area of Buffalo, or, something like that. But here we have 6 kind of cards, which are really great to mix visual and content. So I do like that. I love the visual cleanness of the website so far. So these cards are a really great way to put a lot of options and different ways to organize your information, because churches have a lot of things like different pathways that people could. It's kind of a select your own adventure story, right? But if this is my first time coming to your church and I'm really checking things out, I would expect, if this connecting faith and family is really like our priority or our purpose statement as a church, I would expect more than missions, men, and women. I would expect something more along the lines of connecting faith and family. So maybe even these cards that are at the bottom, youth, children, access, or accessibility, it looks like. I would expect those to be first. The first card that I see is missions, which is really great. A lot of people want to know what a church is doing outside of themselves, right? So missions is a good thing. But if we're looking for a theme or looking for like a common thread through our website, I would expect, or I would think, that connecting faith and family piece should be prevalent all throughout. So maybe instead of this missions piece, it could be something about what Sundays look like. And here, what does connecting faith and family, or what does the family, the youth ministry look like? What does that connecting family piece, what is that? And again, maybe it's youth, kids, something like that. And then maybe that next row could be these missions, men, women. I do like that you have missions up here. Like I said, a lot of people, especially like millennials, young families, want to know what churches are doing outside of themselves. How are you invested in your community? How are you invested in the world around you? So I think those are really good things to have. Let me see. Yeah, I love the visuals. These are all, I can tell they're not stock photos, or at least they don't look like stock photos. I would say that this men's one really kind of also looks service oriented, or missions oriented, rather than like men's Bible study or something like that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's keep scrolling down. What's happening? Baptism Sunday. All right. I'm not sure if this piece is like a card about what's happening the following Sunday all the time, because it looks like this is for this coming Sunday. It's clickable, so let's click on it and see what happens. All right. I guess I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this. Oops. I love that it's an upcoming event. That's really cool. Baptism Sunday is a good thing. As a first-time visitor, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this piece. I honestly thought that this was going to be like a title slide for maybe going to like previous sermons or a preview video or something like that. But what it does, you'll notice up here, it takes you to your church management system, Church Community Builder. But that also means it's taking me out of the website itself. So I've left the website now. So I now see your calendar, which is great. But I'm not on your website anymore. I've left. So for me to go back, I have to press the back button a couple times. So I would kind of rethink this area. This may actually be a good spot to have some more content, like written content, another paragraph describing something unique about your church, or what, if that first paragraph up here is kind of introducing your church and your location, maybe this piece after these are kind of core areas of connecting faith and community. Maybe this is a little bit more description about who you are as a church, or something like that. A quick paragraph. The thing about content on the website, like, think about your use, the way that you use a website. Do you read paragraphs of content if you're going to a regular website? Probably not. If you go to a blog article or a news article or something like that, yeah, that's a little bit different. But just going to a website, a church website, any website that you go to, you're not reading the paragraphs. You do skim it, but it does help search engines search that content, that stuff that they can learn about your church too, and it's on your homepage. So that would help with your rankings in Google and Bing and all the others. So content is okay. Quick paragraphs, like 3-4 sentences, something probably just describing a little bit more about what a first-time visitor could expect when they come to your church, or something unique about your church, or something that if we go down the page, if I'm scrolling down the page, I'm still invested or I'm still intrigued, right? If I'm not, if this background video doesn't speak to me or doesn't really connect with me, I'm going to go check out the next church on Google that I found. But I'm scrolling down, so I want to learn a little bit more. So again, these are our core areas. That's great. Okay, I want to learn a little bit more, and I didn't click into these. So what's the next thing? How do I give just a little more token about who we are as a church to our first-time visitors? That's kind of, I think, what I would put here. And then down here you have upcoming events. These graphics are really great, by the way. I love that. I love the big, like this format. I really like it. I'm still a little bit confused on like the what's happening, upcoming events. So again, I'll move past that. But I think here, upcoming events is really great. I'm curious. I wonder if, as a first-time visitor, do I want to know about upcoming events yet? Or is there something that I would want to know first before I get to the events? And I did see real quick here, the latest message is down here. So I do like that you have this on the homepage. I think I might switch your latest message tile here with the upcoming events. And maybe, let's see what happens here. Oh, it takes me to the media page. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I do like this. But I guess one of the things that I'm thinking about that I mentioned in the beginning is that there was no button, there was no call to action. And really, the only button that I have seen here, obviously the cards are clickable, that title card or this featured event is clickable. I assume all of these are clickable and probably, I'm guessing, take you out to CCB again. So again, taking you out of your website. So I would encourage you I encourage you to keep people in your website. So the more that you can embed your CCB, the more that you can kind of embed this information in with your website would be better. If people could register right there on the website, because if I click on it, I have to log in. Well, as a first time, which is great for your members, right? Like all of that. But if these are outreach focused. I don't have a login, so how do I register? Is kind of my thought there. Oops, sorry. Oh, and full calendar. So I did miss a button. But the only two buttons are a full calendar or watch the latest message. So I would love for you to think through a little bit more. What does that relationship piece look like? So what do we want people to do from this homepage? If you could pick one or two things that you want people to do from this page, what is it? And I would put those buttons here. I would put them after, if you put some content here, put it there. These are all clickable, obviously, which I assume takes you out to a certain page on your website to talk about more. Here, what are those calls to action that we want people to do? What is it that we want to do? That we want people to do from this page? It could be learning more. It could be a simple first time or guest page that we have. It could be watching a sermon, catching the live stream. What do we want people to do from this page? Use that button, use those two buttons all throughout. And I think that will help people. As I'm going to a website, I scroll down. Eventually, I get enough information where I actually want to take a step deeper, or I want to take the next step and learn a little bit more, right? So I want to go to a different page. So I want those calls to action. I want to direct people. As I'm making this website, I want to direct people where I want them to go. And I want to make that very clear for people. So that's the homepage. I hope that was helpful. At Church Juice, we love being able to energize church communications. So if there's anything that I can do for you, if you have any questions about this website or your own church website, feel free to head to churchjuice.com or email me at Bryan, Bryan, at churchjuice.com. And I would be glad to help you out, answer any questions you have, or help you energize your church's communications. Have a great day.